unfortunately, the Republicans in the House have decided they don't really care. Whatever Elon wants to do, who cares that they got elected to office? They're going to collect their checks. They're going to take the congressional delegation trips around the world, and that's pretty much all they're going to do and campaign for the next election through sitting through committees. But at the same time, we know that Elon Musk supposedly does not have any authority whatsoever, according to the White House, at least in their court filings. But the idea that this guy thinks that he can go in and send out an email to the entire federal government and have everyone report to him when at the same time they're saying that he has no authority is bewildering to me. But I'm going to tell you who also has shocked me. Some of the leaders of these organizations that have said we are not going to relinquish our duties. We understand our jobs. We understand that these people report to us and they don't report to Musk. And so with that, I do want to applaud anybody that at this moment has the audacity to actually do what they were either elected to do or do exactly what they are paid to do.
Breaking news, Elon Musk says federal employees must explain their work or be fired. An email went out to federal employees Saturday afternoon asking them to explain their work they've done over the past week, and any employee who fails to respond will be forced to resign. Musk did not elaborate on the timeline for how long employees have to respond, when firings would happen, or who would be impacted. The email comes hours after Trump praised him in a Truth Social post for, quote, doing a great job, but added he would, quote, like to see him get more aggressive. Get live updates on this story and more at Forbes.com.
It is February 27th, 2025, and here's an updated list of layoffs happening in the federal government. It is long, so you can tap in the upper right-hand corner and hold it down to speed up the video. USAID has fired or placed on leave 5,600 employees, and thousands of employees were told today that they had 15-minute windows, either today or tomorrow, to clear out their desks. The IRS is closing 110 offices around the country, which will result in 7,000 employees being laid off. The Social Security Administration has been instructed to cut its workforce in half. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission could face a 90% reduction in staff, which amounts to somewhere around 2,100 people. The Environmental Protection Agency has been told to cut its staff by 65%, which equates to around 11,700 employees. The National Highway Traffic Safety has laid off 4% of its staff. FEMA is expected to be eliminated entirely, but currently DOJ is conducting a review of FEMA operations to determine how many people to let go. TSA has fired more than 240 employees. Office of Community Planning and Development, which is part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, has cut the office by 84%, laying off 786 employees. The FAA fired 400 employees. The Department of Defense began laying off probationary workers, which equates to approximately 5,400 employees. NIH has laid off 5,200 probationary employees. Department of Energy has laid off 2,000 probationary employees. Department of Education laid off dozens of employees. Department of Veterans Affairs has let go of more than 1,000 employees. The U.S. Forest Service fired more than 3,400 employees. The Small Business Administration terminated some probationary employees, but we don't have an exact number. Office of Personnel Management let go a bunch of people. We don't have an exact number on that. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau let go of 73 of its staff. The National Nuclear Safety Administration has fired hundreds of employees, and the General Services Administration let go of 100 employees. NOAA is set to slash jobs imminently.
We are not what people hear in the press from the president. They're calling us criminals. They're saying that we are people against the state and things like that, which is furthest from the truth. These are humanitarians.
And today what you're seeing is the mass firing of civil servants of the United States government. Again, this is an entire industry that has evaporated overnight.
We help tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people around the world. Whether it's feeding malnourished people or making sure that people get access to life-saving drugs and vaccine. The scale of the loss is like really hard to imagine.
That to me is the saddest part of the story, is that people are going to suffer and probably die from the cut
they want. They want to give a tax break. How will they finance this tax break? They're taking it out of federal governments. They're taking it out of places like USAID. They want to take it out of Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP food stamps. So it's really the poor, it's Americans, it's the middle class that's going to suffer.
I just hope that the world sees this and also calls out on their governments. We are going to need the international community to step up their assistance and support to other countries because unfortunately the United States is no longer that beacon for foreign assistance that we used to be.
When I say that it's almost impossible to get fired by the federal government, this person here said that she's a federal employee and she's literally seen fights and people no call, no show, and they still have a job. I'm telling you, if you want to get into a stable career working for the federal government, especially working in GovTech, is one of the best type of careers that you can have because you have a stable job, it's recession proof, and you get paid high salaries, and it is very low stress. And if you don't know about my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I'm always on there dropping long form information about GovTech and interviewing other GovTech professionals as well. So check it out.
away, you can take my salary away, but I work for the public good.
15 minutes. That's how much time laid off USAID workers here in Washington were given today to clear out their desks. That even applies to workers who've been with the agency for years.
I was dreading coming here this morning, and when I first arrived, I just burst into tears. But it's helpful. Someone's giving me water. I forgot my water and snacks.
Crowds of supporters gathered outside the headquarters today to show their solidarity with the workers.
People have been given 15 minutes to collect their belongings and go home. The mood is sad. People don't understand why. They've been trusted public servants for decades, and all of a sudden they're no longer trusted employees.
More than 5,600 USAID workers have either been laid off or placed on leave around the globe, although it's unclear how many of those work here at the Washington headquarters.
In my appearance, as it is after 4 a.m. on Tuesday, February 18th, and I wanted to come on here as one of the thousands of federal employees who lost their job with the federal government this weekend. More specifically, I was removed from my position through an email from an unrecognized HR account from my agency around 1 p.m. on Saturday of this holiday weekend. No one within my chain of supervision was involved in this decision. I have gone through the entire range of emotions this past weekend. There is a lot of sadness in my heart. There is also a lot of anger. The firing of thousands of federal employees across the government is going to have detrimental impacts on regular people like yourself watching this video. My position with my healthcare agency was involved in Affordable Care Act, health insurance marketplace policy and operations. And so I was one of the people regulating health insurers to make sure that they were not selling you junk insurance, making sure that they were covering all the benefits that they had to cover, charging you a fair amount of cost sharing, making sure that they weren't discriminating against you based on your health conditions or health status. And with fewer people like myself in the government, you can imagine the impact that that will have on the regulation of massive corporations. And I think that's part of the point of all of this. I have gone back and forth all weekend with what comes next for me. I was a dentist before moving to DC. I graduated from dental school and put my clinical career on pause in order to move here and try to make a difference. I wanted to make dental care more accessible and affordable for people, and I felt like I finally had that opportunity in this job that I was just let go of. One of the hardest parts of all of this is that I don't know if I've really made a difference. I'm really at a loss for direction right now in what I'm doing with my life, and I'm really not sure what comes next for me, but whatever it is, hoping to make the best of it, as we always do, and really appreciate all the love and support of people out there who recognize just how cruel this is. I'm sending love to all of my federal workers out there who are either hanging on to their jobs still or were just let go this weekend. I know the pain that you're feeling, and the entire network has been so supportive, and I want to offer that same support to all of you. If there's any lessons to be drawn from this, it is that we do not need the richest people in the world controlling our government. Our government is supposed to be for the people, and the only purpose of all of this is not to decrease the federal deficit or decrease spending like they're claiming. We make up such a small portion of federal government spending. It's really to decrease regulation and allow businesses to go unregulated and take control of the economy. So I think we're in a really dark time, and it's going to take a lot of work for all of us to rebuild from this, but I am committed to doing that work in whatever role comes next, and I hope you all understand the gravity of this moment and do your own part to chip in. So I don't know what else to say, but for now, just wanted to share my story and send my love to anyone else going through this. All right.
It's an executive order relating to reforms to the federal workforce.
We're getting rid of all of the cancer.
Suggestion to federal workers that they have to return to work. And if they don't, then they have the option to resign.
Hired as a federal employee, Here's exactly what you need to do next. If you were a probationary federal employee who just got hit with one of those mass terminations, don't panic. You have options, but you need to move fast. Here are 5 practical steps to take right now. First, file for unemployment as soon as possible. Even if they told you you don't qualify, apply anyway. Each state has different rules, and in many cases, poor performance is not misconduct, which means you still may be eligible. Pro tip when applying, be careful how you describe your termination. Stick to neutral terms like released during probationary period instead of fired or terminated. Second, request your SF-50 and personnel file. Your SF-50 is critical if you want to challenge your termination, apply for another federal job, or verify your eligibility for unemployment. As a pro tip, some agencies may have altered performance records before termination. Request a copy of your last performance review to make sure it wasn't changed. Third, I would check for possible legal claims. Most probationary employees probably don't have the legal claims from this, but you might have a case if, among other things, discrimination. Were you fired because of your race, gender, disability, pregnancy, or age? Was it whistleblower retaliation if you reported misconduct and were fired shortly thereafter because of that? Was it partisan political retaliation or discrimination? Were you fired for supporting or opposing a political party or candidate? If you suspect your termination was unlawful, consider documenting everything and filing an EEO complaint or OSC claim. You've got 45 days on the EEO complaint. Fourth, I'd explore job options, right? Federal agencies might not be hiring, but you might want to look at jobs at state and local governments. They often have similar roles. Or you might want to check private sector jobs. Sometimes agencies or businesses that contract with the federal agencies can be helpful. You also want to network with coworkers and supervisors that might help with referrals. Fifth, I would take care of your mental health. Losing a job isn't just about money, right? It's about your identity, stability, and future. It's completely normal to feel shock, anger, fear, or even relief. Take a breath. This doesn't define you. Limit negative self-talk. You are still valuable and capable. Also, during this time, don't isolate. Reach out for support. If stress is hitting hard, we offer live Q&As inside the Mindful Federal Employee Membership, where we talk about legal options and stress management tools. As a bonus, I'm going to do live questions and answers tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you have questions about your rights, unemployment, or next steps, I'll be answering them live inside of the Mindful Federal Employee Membership. So sign up for a free 3-day trial now. The link is in my bio. So I hope this has been helpful, provided some helpful information. Please do what you can to support us by sharing this. That really helps get the message out, as well as liking this and commenting. And let's all help support each other during this time. Thank you, everybody, for your support. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope everybody has a good rest of the day. Take care.
Good afternoon, federal employee friends. You get a midday update on the federal employee firings. There's been some changes, some we expected, some that caught me off guard a little bit. The IRS has fired 7,000 federal employees. The Department of Defense, specifically the U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, and U.S. Navy have started sending out letters for their federal employees. Now, a couple that caught me off guard and I didn't expect. The Transportation Security Administration, TSA, fired 300 to 400 employees today. That was confirmed to me by a supervisor at the airport I'm in right now. Also, we have Department of Homeland Security, Sciences and Technology Directorate, and Department of State. I don't have any information on who at Department of State, at the State Department, but it has been confirmed to me that they have rolled up their probationary lists and the firings will be forthcoming. That's all I have for now. I might not have any more information since I'm flying pretty much for the rest of the day into the late evening on the East Coast, but I'll try to get something out if I can. Otherwise, again, sorry for the bad news. Let me know if your agency or department is firing people, and I haven't mentioned it in this video or my last one from last night. Today is February 20th.
And how impactful this is. A federal judge just halted Trump's mass firings of federal workers. Let's break it down. On February 27th, 2025, Judge William Alsup in San Francisco issued a restraining order stopping the Trump administration's mass firings of federal probationary employees. The judge ruled that the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, lacked the authority to order these terminations. OPM must now inform federal agencies to rescind any related emails. Approximately 200,000 federal workers, including 15,000 in California, are affected. This ruling is a significant pause on Trump's efforts to reduce the federal workforce, which has already seen 31,000 firings. The judge voiced concerns about the impact on national parks, scientific research, and veterans services. Stay tuned for more updates as OPM's acting director prepares to testify. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest news.
From a pissed off veteran who did not fuck around but is still having to find out. Today's a regular day for me. Took my kids to school. I'm at work, but I'm waiting to hear if my husband is losing his job or not. And to add on top of that, on Tuesday, he's supposed to go on parental leave. So you see all the 4 car seats there? Yeah, we're getting a foster care placement. So 4 little kids in our home. And he's going to take a little bit of leave to make sure they integrate well into our home, set them up for success, and get them set up in school. But instead, today, we're waiting to find out if he's losing his job solely because he's a probationary federal employee who has been at his job for less than a year, despite having great performance reviews. What was he doing before that year working for the federal government? He was an officer of the United States Army for 8 years. Before that, he went to the United States Military Academy at West Point. So his whole adult life, he has served our country. Then he became a disabled veteran, and he continued to work for the government to continue to try and serve our country. But he's been in that role for less than a year. So we're waiting to see, will he have a job or not by the end of the day? And we're the lucky ones, because I have a great job. We have savings. We have other streams of income, including this, so thank you for watching. We'll be fine. He'll find another job. But that's the sad part. We're the lucky ones. And we didn't fuck around. But we're having to find out.
This is it, y'all. I have officially been laid off from the IRS per the executive order from Donald Trump.
So, federal workers have lost their jobs. People are thinking of plan A, plan B, alternatives way to earn money so that they're able to take care of themselves, their family members, be able to pay medical bills, to be able to pay pay school fees for those who are in private schools, basically in order to take care of themselves and their family and their loved ones, and also just in case of emergency, you know, because things happen. You may end up falling sick, and maybe you are being told by the hospital that you need, you know, besides your insurance, maybe you need to chip in more money, you know, that kind of thing. It happens. It's life. Life happens. So these are the consequences where, when we are told, we should be mindful, we should be careful of what we vote. When you go to the ballot, you need to be careful whom you are voting for. So these are the results. These are the consequences. I know it's painful. I know people are crying right now, but it is what it is. It is a reality, and people right now need to face the reality as it is, face the consequences, face it, accept it, and come up with plan A, plan B, plan C, so that you're able to take care of yourself, your loved ones, your kids, and have that emergency fund just in case, you know, when shit hit the fan, you're able to take care of yourself. Because if you're not careful, becoming homeless, it's very easy. If you're not careful, you're one step away from disaster that's gonna destroy your life for good. Because when you don't have a job, because most of the time when you have a job, you're able to take care of yourself and your loved ones, and also have a bit of financial stability. So it's very important right now at this crucial moment to be able to come up with alternative way to earn money, and of course legit way to earn money. And as much as we are crying, as much as we are saying, oh, our world is over, we need to accept that things have happened. No one is coming to save you unless you save yourself. You need to come up with a plan. You need to look at your life. You need to analyze and see exactly what you need to do. Look at the skills that you have. Are you planning to go work in the private sector? Are you planning becoming a freelancer? Are you planning to become a financial to become a business owner? I mean, those are the things you need to look at right now, because the jobs are gone. The president has made the policy and signed that policy, and now this is the reality, and people are losing jobs every single moment. Unless maybe you are working those crucial docket where they need you to go back to work. Like for example, the employees, federal workers who are in charge of the nuclear security areas, those sensitive areas, most probably you're going to be left to do your job. But the majority who they look at as doing jobs that are not important, as they say, then most chances are you need to come up with a plan B, plan C, plan E in order to take care of yourself, your family, and your loved ones, because you're only one step away from becoming, having a disaster in your life. So you need to be able to be prepared. Remember what they say: when you plan, you are basically planning to become successful in everything that you do. So please plan early so that you are able to face whatever situation you're in your life. These are the reality. When they say when you vote, know who you're voting. They say every action has an equal reaction, these are the results. When they say please vote for people who are going to take care of you, to protect your interests, are going to make sure everything is okay in your life, this is the reality. It is what it is. It has happened. Now it's just a matter of coming up with plan A, plan B, plan C. So take care of yourself. Make sure you're okay. Make sure you are able to come up with alternatives way of earning money. If you're thinking of entering the private sector, this is the time where now to prepare that resume, to prepare those interview questions, the tips. This is the time you polish, and this is the time to apply for those jobs. If you're thinking of becoming a business owner, then create that business plan, come up with ways to raise that money, that funding, the capital to be able to start that business of yours. And of course, if you're planning maybe to become a freelancer, the websites are there. Check on YouTube. People are talking about ways to earn money as a freelancer. Go there, look at them, and then of course put that skill of yours, create your profile, and start bidding for those jobs which are there. And of course, people are there, they're going to hire you. So I wish you all the best, and of course don't forget to subscribe.